Hello and welcome to CTV News Across Canada. For Wednesday, August 6th, we've got the top local stories from coast to coast, stories that affect you and the country. Thanks for joining us.
After touring a mill in West Kelowna Tuesday, Prime Minister Carney announced a series of supports to sustain the softwood lumber industry being hammered by American duties.
I'm going to focus on how we can help transform our softwood lumber industry to compete in this tough new environment.
Carney pledged $700 million in loan guarantees to help struggling businesses facing U.S. import duties that effectively doubled last week to 27% and have tied up approximately $10 billion at the border.
These owners of these companies are very worried. They're worried about losing their people. They're worried about continuously keeping their business going.
The Prime Minister also promised $500 million in funding for new product development, including for materials used in prefabricated modular homes and for new market diversification.
For him to understand how important it is for us to do that, that is good. It's going to take us a while to get to diversifying our markets, but it's helpful they acknowledge that.
There's also a push for prioritizing and procurement of Canadian lumber to be used for Canadian homes and infrastructure.
We will be our own best customer by relying more on Canadian lumber, Canadian softwood for Canadian projects.
I think there is an opportunity for British Columbia as the second largest exporter of softwood lumber in the world, not only to help build infrastructure in British Columbia, but throughout this entire country.
The final measure laid out from the mill reflects the punishing realities of the duties. $50 million in funding for lumber workers to be retrained.
They're tired of retraining programs. They just want their jobs. They want those good paying, family supporting jobs in our forest sector.
With further hikes to duties expected to bring them up to 35% in weeks, today's news is welcomed by many, but a negotiated deal with the U.S. remains critical to the industry.
Rob joins us live from Victoria now. Rob, these duties now at 27%, expected to hit 35%, but could there be more?
Well, Nafisa, indeed, there could be, as you described there. They're expected to reach 35% later this month, but separate and distinct from the duties is this issue of tariffs. And you'll recall Donald Trump back in the spring had ordered a review of tariffs on the lumber sector, justifying it on the basis of security for the states, the importance of them being able to manufacture enough lumber there. That review is not complete, but it's conceivable they could advise or order additional tariffs on top of the 35% duties. People in the industry I spoke to say they think that is unlikely, that it's likely a negotiating tactic, but it all adds to this uncertainty and fear within the industry. Nafisa.
Our Legislative Bureau Chief live in Victoria tonight. Thank you, Rob.
Police tape lines the alleyway, and investigators attempt to uncover how a tragedy like this could have happened.
There was a toddler playing in the back alley, and single vehicle struck the child.
That child was Anna Hot-Gill. She was chasing after a toy when she was struck and killed by the driver of a white pickup truck making a right turn into a blind corner. Just 1 month shy of her second birthday, loved ones described her as a pretty, talkative, and curious little girl who always enjoyed playing with others. Her family declined to appear on camera, but community members are shocked, some calling this a dangerous intersection that was an accident just waiting to happen.
If you're driving and you're on a speed, for sure, there could be an emergency, somebody just coming from a corner. Our thought and prayer is with them.
Well, just never thought it'd really happen. Like, it's usually just peaceful around here, and now someone's dead. I'm just taking it in.
Others with a close connection to the family are lost in their emotions.
This is really devastating for us, and because I have a little one too, and the girl we are talking about, she used to play with my daughter every evening.
Ramandeep Jasin lives directly across the alleyway. He says drivers need to be more aware of their surroundings, especially in residential areas like this.
It's disaster.
So far, no charges have been laid as police continue to investigate. Alcohol and drugs are not considered factors, and it's unknown if speed was an issue. But traffic officers say this is a good reminder for all drivers to pay more attention.
So it's a bit of a loose term, but the posted limit for back lanes is 15 kilometres an hour. And I think what we have to understand is that what wasn't there yesterday could well be there today.
A split second in a northeast alleyway, leaving a family broken and a community grieving. Mark Villani, CTV News, Calgary.
Peel Regional Police were called to this Brampton rooming house around 12:30 this morning after reports came in regarding some type of altercation. They found one person dead inside number 17 Center Street North. Police are not releasing the victim's name, but residents and neighbors identify her as June Curtis, believed to be in her 70s. We spoke with her distraught friend at the scene today. She did not want to appear on camera.
We went every week and we had lunch, breakfast, whatever you want, but it's been like 15, 16 years. So it's been a very long time. The most loving, gracious person. She never would turn you away.
Residents say June was well known and well liked. She was a longtime employee at this laundromat located around the corner on Queen Street.
I knew her just as a laundromat, talking to her, because every time I went over there, she's really nice, right? So I talked to her at the laundromat. She seemed like a really nice lady.
But it's a shame because she works over there at the laundromat. She's a wonderful, wonderful lady.
Nicest lady there is. Nicest lady, she didn't shoot on her back or do anything.
A 65-year-old man who also lives at the same address has been charged with second-degree murder. Police identify him as Wilford Kent. He is also facing 2 counts of aggravated assault when 2 residents next door were also allegedly attacked with a sharp-edged weapon. Their injuries are not life-threatening. Investigators won't discuss a motive, but neighbors say the victim reported the accused to police after he allegedly mistreated a small dog he owned. Court records show Kent was charged on July 30th with willfully causing pain and suffering to an animal.
Over a dog argument, that seems like an extreme for a dog argument, unfortunately. That's a shame.
Court records also show the accused is known to Peel Regional Police. He has previous charges for assault and uttering death threats. The home has been sealed off as police continue the investigation into this homicide. And neighbors also tell us that there were other complaints about the treatment of that dog from other residents nearby. They also tell us that the accused would often be in the street agitated and threatening people. Police have not confirmed any of this information. We know the accused has been remanded in custody. He'll be back in a Brampton court on August the 12th. Reporting live in Brampton, I'm John Mussum, and I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, John.
Thank God she didn't get this one, because that was my wedding ring.
At 90 years old, Terry Thompson has seen a lot. Never anything like this.
And I look at my hand, my ring was gone. She took the ring at the same time that she took the old ring off.
While having a smoke outside Ogilvie Villa retirement home Sunday, Thompson says she was approached by a woman who forcefully put jewelry on her.
I said, I don't want any. You keep it, you wear it. And all of a sudden, she grabbed my hand, put the ring on, and then all of a sudden, she took it off. I said, take that off. And she was gone in about a second.
Also gone, a cherished aquamarine and diamond ring.
You know, my husband gave me that in 1975.
The loss of it, heartbreaking.
I'm sad for my mom, upset. Hopefully they can catch this person.
Last month, police asked for help identifying suspects involved in distraction thefts targeting the elderly, including a 92-year-old robbed of a necklace and 2 rings in her driveway on Hillary Avenue, and a gold necklace stolen from a 94-year-old on Beaver Pond Drive. To help protect yourself from distraction thefts, police say to avoid displaying expensive or sentimental jewelry in public. Stay alert to your surroundings, especially in parking lots. Don't allow strangers to touch you, and if approached under suspicious circumstances, walk away and seek help. From Thompson, a simple plea.
Please bring my ring back.
And we did not receive comment from Ogilvie Villa before airtime, but there is a sign warning about the individual posted on the door, and we're told plans are in the works to possibly move the smoking area elsewhere so that residents aren't so close to people walking by. Stefan?
Devastating. CTV's Katie Griffin reporting live for us tonight. Thank you, Katie.
Anger, frustration, exhaustion. St. Leonard residents say they've had enough. Hundreds packed Borough Hall Monday night, demanding officials to do more after yet another round of flooding in July. Antoinette Fraga says the damage isn't just physical, it's mental too.
I can't even go out anymore. As soon as I hear thunderstorms, either I come back home fast, or I stay home.
On July 13th, heavy rain dumped around 100 millimeters on the borough. Basements and garages filled up with water again. Resident Mario Conte says he's had enough of the uncertainty and excuses.
It's just getting from bad to worse. The city is saying, you know what, it's climate change. Is it climate change? Is it the over-construction? Is it the condo towers that are soliciting our drainage system?
Belmont Street has been hit hard, flooded twice in 2 years. Local councillor Dominic Perry says there's a clear fix. He says a study found the main water collection station on Langelier Boulevard needs a major upgrade, including a capacity increase of 2 to 5 times. Perry says $151 million is earmarked, but the city can't touch it yet. CTV News asked Montreal City Hall to clarify the situation, but we did not receive an answer by airtime.
The project eventually has to be done because climate change is here to remain. The costs will be higher.
But the clock is ticking, and he warns more flooding is coming.
This is not acceptable.
In a borough where seniors make up a big part of the population, many, including Fraga, fear they won't see relief in time.
Maybe something's going to be done, but in 5 years, I probably won't even be there in 5 years.
The city says it's investing in infrastructure, sponge parks, and other flood mitigation measures. A spokesperson tells CTV News it has stepped up its efforts to improve water infrastructure, setting aside nearly $600 million in its latest budget. The city says several projects are already underway, with more to be announced, but it admits the current network wasn't built to handle such large volumes of rainfall. The opposition party says if elected this fall, it would release the funding starting in 2026. Ensemble de Montréal is accusing the current administration of dragging its feet. Marc-Anthony Sorello also points the finger at the Mayor Valérie Plante's office. The resident says the city is misusing funds by prioritizing green projects.
We got to spend things on what will help people live, not bike paths and not agendas that are in the federal jurisdiction and provincial jurisdictions.
Residents want better drainage, real plans, and real accountability. But so far, they say it's been mostly just talk. For now, they're left crossing their fingers for clear skies and bracing for the next storm. Laurence Brisson-Dubreuil, CTV News.
A London man charged with attempted murder is back in custody 2 days after being released by accident.
My initial reaction to this was, what the heck happened here?
Former OPP Commissioner Chris Lewis says public safety was jeopardized during a sequence of events involving London Court, the Ministry of the Solicitor General, and London Police.
We shouldn't have dangerous offenders just kind of absent-mindedly or through some clerical error be released from custody.
Friday evening, London Police frantically asked for the public's help in locating Cody Anthony LeBlanc Ash.
He should be in custody in relation to several serious charges, including attempt murder from an incident that occurred in September of 2024. He should be considered armed and dangerous.
Saturday, police say Ash was rearrested outside the city by 5 of their units. Police say he was not released by them and was in custody of the Ministry of the Solicitor General. CTV has reached out to the province for details on how this happened, but we have not yet received a response.
There's still a lot of unknowns about how this occurred.
Typically, court security or correctional employees will bring individuals in custody to the London courthouse and take them back.
Where did this guy suddenly get told, okay, you can go now? During the ride back, when he got to the jail, it's very difficult to tell at this point, but somebody needs to find out what the heck happened so it doesn't happen again.
Ash was originally arrested in October of 2024 after a man was hospitalized following a shooting on Booley Street a month earlier. Lewis does credit London police, who were able to re-apprehend him quickly with no one reportedly injured. Ash remains in custody.
But that's the good news story here. The bad news, and no one was hurt in the meantime that we're aware of. But the bad news story is that this is an obvious slip up on the part of someone. So there'll be a lot of discussions going on around how this occurred and how it should not ever occur again.
Brent Lale, CTV News.
So we have the regular Cobra greenhouse tomato.
Wendy Erdman and her husband Ron have been growing veggies for more than 40 years.
I worked for him in 1984. And here I am today, still working, not getting paid.
The Erdmans may be working, but their cell phones are not. About 6 weeks ago, they suddenly lost cell service.
Both noticed our phones went to SOS.
Most times they still have one bar, but calls don't go through and texts are delayed. Their home phone is still set up, but Erdman says most calls are considered long distance.
10 cents a minute, phoning these customers back, and where we used to be able to call them on the cell phone and you can phone nationwide.
This is what's been causing all the issues. You should be looking at a 106-meter tall cell tower behind me right now, but it was knocked over on June 14th. Police say the vandals took a bunch of copper wiring from the downed tower. The damage estimated at $800,000. Telus says the replacement should be up sometime in September. The lack of connectivity has been a struggle at nearby Moosewood Acres, too. Owner Christina Krause is now paying Starlink $150 a month so she has enough internet to accept non-cash payments. She's also still paying Telus through her mobile contract.
They're still not really willing to work with you or compensate you for it, because it wasn't failure of their product.
Telus says it's adjusting other towers nearby to provide the area with as much coverage as possible. It is not obligated to compensate customers for the outage, but that could change in the future. The CRTC is contemplating adding the scenario to its Consumer Protections Action Plan. In the meantime, people out here are making do.
You can't get a call out. There's a spot in the middle of the field that works.
In Thorhild County, Jeremy Thompson, CTV News.
It takes a toll on your budget. You have to give up something else.
90-year-old Evelyn Kenny lives in a Grant Park apartment building. She uses an oxygen tank for her everyday life.
I'm on oxygen 24/7. If I go out, I have a portable machine. I cannot be without oxygen.
She pays for her oxygen up front, then gets a rebate check from the provincial government. They came regularly for the last 5 years, but for the last 2 months, the now $435 checks didn't come.
When my check wasn't in the mail, I phoned and told I was to go to 300 Carlton Street and pick it up.
But the federal government's checks made it.
Well, the federal government got all their checks mailed. Why did this government jump the wagon and decide that they're going to have us go pick them up?
Getting downtown is not an easy journey.
I would have to book Handy Transit and get them to take me down. And as a rule, Handy Transit does not wait for you. So that means if they wouldn't wait for me, I would at least have an hour's wait downtown to be picked up and come home.
CTV News reached out to the Health Minister's office and received a response. In the statement, Minister's spokesperson said, "Our priority is to ensure that all Manitobans, especially seniors and vulnerable individuals, continue to receive the support they need. To prevent essential checks from being delayed, Manitoba opened essential mail distribution centers as a precaution. We remain committed to working across government to address any ongoing concerns and ensure that affected individuals are supported during this time." Kenny says the perspective is important.
Whoever thinks up these ideas are not putting themselves in the position of the senior.
Harrison Shin, CTV News, Winnipeg.
There have been plenty of days this summer where a thick smoke has enveloped Regina, caused by numerous wildfires in the northern part of Saskatchewan. But Environment and Climate Change Canada say that is not the only source where the smoke is blowing in from.
So what we've been looking at is a lot of smoke from fires, not only in north central Saskatchewan, which have been bringing a lot of the smoke that we've been seeing recently. There's also been quite a bit of smoke this summer so far from fires in Alberta and into Manitoba.
As a result, smoke has been an issue all over the the nation, especially in the Queen City. This July, 109 smoke hours were recorded in Regina, making it the smokiest month on record since the start of smoke hours data collection in 1953.
I mean, definitely this summer has been a lot different with the smoke and things like that. I try not pay attention to it too much, but definitely the heaviness in my lungs, I can definitely feel it once I'm doing physical activity and things like that.
Another Regina resident, Murray Kyle, isn't letting the smoke stop him from getting out for walks with his dog, but admits he's never seen anything like the severity of the wildfires in the province.
Boy, they're terrible. Yeah, I don't remember them ever being in the news when growing up or anything like experiencing this.
Environment and Climate Change Canada says this year has the potential to be the smokiest on record for the entire season in southern Saskatchewan.
We have 215 hours of smoke as of yesterday. That's second place to 2023, which had 263 hours, but that was all the way until October. So we'll be having to see where this season stacks up when all is said and done.
Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
There's been a disturbing trend in impaired driving cases. OPP say 26 drivers in the Northeast were charged over the Civic Long Weekend.
Pretty much every year, every long weekend, every time there's the traffic volumes increase, we constantly give the same message of don't drink and drive.
This after an extremely busy July for OPP in the Almaguin Highlands Detachment. Officers charged 6 individuals with impaired driving following a series of separate incidents. Police in North Bay also arrested 12 drivers with impaired driving offenses that same month, including a person driving a dirt bike.
We're still, as you can see from the stats, still getting a lot of impaired driving. We would love to see this number at 0.
The good news, OPP say, is that as of Tuesday in the Northeast region, no one has died in collisions involving drivers suspected to be under the influence of drugs or alcohol. But that doesn't excuse the poor driving choice. The message from OPP, with 4 weeks left until school and summer still in full swing, they will remain on the highways patrolling the busy roads.
The same applies, not operating boats or ATVs or any motorized vehicles impaired. Doesn't matter where, if it's over the highway, roadways, or trailways. Impaired driving is the same.
Eric Tashner, CTV News.
It sits on a gravel lot, tucked away, still, and largely unchanged. The Nova Scotia Firefighter School now stands at the center of a scathing provincial audit.
The Nova Scotia Firefighter School cannot safely and effectively operate as it is. There is a crisis of confidence in its leadership and governance.
This comes 6 years after the death of Skylar Blackie, whose life ended during a training exercise. An expired fire extinguisher he was using exploded during a certification exam. During today's announcement, the Blackie family fought through tears.
We, as a family, are not surprised by the results, and we're glad that the government has seen that as well, and that hopefully we're moving in the right direction now.
The $300,000 audit confirmed the Blackie family's fears. According to the audit, the school where Skylar died had no meaningful safety culture, strategic planning, and no public accountability.
Anybody who's worked there, gone there as a student, has had concerns, but for a long time it was the only option. So it's hard to speak out against the only provider.
Right now, firefighting training in Nova Scotia is fragmented. Each department sets its own standards, and there's no legislation governing it.
Pro board and the fire school setup that exists now isn't healthy, isn't the best option for Nova Scotia firefighters. So when the changes come, we're quite confident that we're going to be in a better position.
The Nova Scotia Firefighter School is a non-profit organization that has been operating since 1967. It receives financial help from the province and donations. While the building may still stand, the province says its role in firefighter training is done. For the Blackie family, this isn't closure.
It's sort of the same as moving on with grief. You're never going to move on, you're going to move forward, and that's what we're doing today. We're able to take a next step forward.
This is the first big step. There needs to be a lot more steps to follow.
Moving forward, a broader fire services review is being conducted, focusing on governance, operations, communications, and funding. Hafsa Arif, CTV News, Halifax.